does it feel so good to be able to do that yet again? Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APWSPORTS signing in. And the Bears are now 2-0 this preseason with a 27-11 win against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, my voice is still like hoarse, still crazy, but hey, I got to get this out to you guys. But before I talk about this Bears preseason game, make sure you guys leave this video a like, as it always helps this channel to grow and improves the YouTube algorithm. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead, click that sub button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos I post. But without further ado, let's dive into it. First thing first is I want to talk about how this Bears offense looked. And I love what I see. Now, the first team offense with Justin Fields didn't necessarily score a touchdown, but they were able to move the ball down the field with Herbert, Fields, Mooney, Kmet. And the main thing, and I pointed this out on Twitter, you guys follow me, that there is a drastic difference between the play calling of Matt Nagy and the play calling of Luke Getsy. And the main thing is, we seen screen game. We seen the bootlegs and the rollouts that help utilize Justin Fields' athleticism. And that is going to be key with Luke Getsy's outside zone running scheme, along with the play action, along with the bootlegs, and getting your quarterback on the move. Especially behind the offensive line that was, once again, not particularly great tonight. Especially the first unit. It's not particularly great. Justin Fields was still under a little bit of a pressure. And even Trevor Siemian was under a little bit of pressure. But the rollout in the bootleg game will help that a ton. And that is the biggest difference that you saw from what we've seen the last couple of years of Matt Nagy, and already to what we see out of 2 preseason games of Luke Getsy. He is not afraid to get his quarterback on the move. He is not afraid to use the screen game to help offset a not so great offensive line. And that is something you love to see in an offense that we were devoid of the past few years. Screen games. Screen game, screen game. Roll out, roll out, roll out. Something that I've called for so long. Something that we've necessarily needed with our offense, and we finally see it. He is using Justin Fields' skill set to its ability, and he is calling plays to help utilize that. Something that we've needed. Something that Justin Fields has needed to take that next step to becoming the franchise quarterback that this organization drafted him to be. Now, with the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to flip to the defense a little bit. Even though, of course, you don't have Roquan. You saw some play out of Quinn. You saw some play out of Kyler Gordon. We didn't see Jaquan Brisker today, but Kyler Gordon looks solid. This offense of the Seattle Seahawks is not very good to begin with, even though they had Tyler Lockett and DK play a little bit. But it's not spectacular, but the Bears did their job with the first 2 series defensively for the Bears. 3 and out. And that is something you love to see for a defense, no matter what type of game it is. You like to see them go in and get off the field and give your offense more opportunities to score points. And that is exactly what they did the first 2 possessions of the ball game. And the Bears defense, once again, I think it's going to be one of their strengths. Now, they don't have a lot of talented names outside of Roquan, which I'm not going to talk about that too much. Robert Quinn, who, in all intents and purposes, is the main leader of this football team. Eddie Jackson, he has to step up this year. But Jaquan Brisker, we didn't see much of him tonight, but we expect him to make much of an impact. Kyler Gordon, he did some solid things. and this Bears defense flew around to the football, making plays, getting big hits, and that's what we love to see from this Bears defense. Now, the main thing I want to touch on in this reaction is not much to really dive into because we all know it's preseason. You're only going to see so much from the guys that are going to see live game action week 1 against San Francisco. A lot of the guys that we saw tonight were not going to be main big time contributors. But before I get into what I mean to get into, I want to talk about our special teams just a little bit. Especially with the return game of Velus Jones, especially with Webster with that long return as well. Velus Jones is looking like he is going to be a problem with punt returns with this speed and this ability to make things happen in the return game. And that is something the Bears have been lacking outside of a little bit of Jakeem Grant we got. That is something the Bears have been lacking for a while, especially with the injury to Tariq Cohen in 2020. And last year we didn't have that much until Grant got here. So that is something that we need, a Velus Jones that can help utilize his skill set and help field position. And that's what the main thing of special teams is. And we even got a special teams touchdown off of a muffed punt. Even though we did our muff punt on our own, but whatever, that's Newsom's fault. It was Tuggle's fault because he wasn't aware where he was and all that. But at the end of the day, special teams is a key to a game that's overlooked and overrated all the time. And the Bears special teams looked solid. But the main thing I wanted to get into and the main thing I wanted to talk about for a little bit before I close this, the culture. The culture and the discipline and the intensity that this Bears unit played with. Love it. I love the fact that there is a culture change. They are trying to set a culture. And from these first 2 preseason games, the guys are buying in. The culture of the Chicago Bears is there. The culture is there. Whether the guys are playing hard, they're flying around to the football, they are for the most part playing mistake-free football as far as costly penalty errors. The Bears have only had 3 penalties tonight. 3 versus Seattle's 12. The Bears only had 3 penalties. And you love to see that, especially in a preseason game with your second string, your third string, your fourth string guys getting tick and getting reps. You love to see it. You love to see the intensity that they play with. You love to see the fact that they're playing fast. You love to see the fact that they are playing mistake-free football. And there is a bit of discipline within the Chicago Bears locker room. And that is something that was missing with Matt Nagy. I love to see it. You also love to see your football team win anytime they step on the field, and that's exactly what the Bears did with the 27-11 win tonight. But I'm going to cut this video short. As you see, my voice is hoarse, and I got to wake up early in the morning. But I'm going to conclude here. But make sure you guys leave this video a like. It's all that. Help the channel to grow, beat the algorithm. And if you've got to this point, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You will not miss any of the content that I post if you click that notification bell as well. But APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.